The only problem with where are we? Right, let's take the thingy off. Boom. This seems so weird doing a live from a kitchen. But before we get into today, I will be moving to the front room. It's just the boys are up and they're having dinner, so they will be going to sleep. Well, Leo will be going to bed pretty soon, so I can move into the front room in a little while. Well, hello and welcome to the Tuesday Live with myself and Phill from Incredible Inverts and Other Animals. And if one of the moderators could kindly put Phil's channel link into the comments religiously throughout the evening, that would be absolutely fantastic. And I shall thank you already. But yeah, Phill is a zookeeper as well as a collector. Phil's been on the live with myself in the past. But a lot of you guys, especially the newer guys, will probably just think Phil's got a YouTube channel and sells a few bits at the show, and might not know he is actually a zookeeper. And we'll probably have a few questions for him as the evening goes on. Also, please bear with me when it comes to questions. I haven't got access to YouTube like I normally do, so the questions are coming up on StreamYard, so they will be a little bit delayed, so the comments are going to be about 30 seconds behind for me and Phill to what they appear on the actual screen. So bear with. Phill,
how's it going?
All right, yeah.
Hot. Really
hot. Hot is an understatement.
Yeah, I put a little picture up on the chat earlier of one of the surfaces in my tropical house was 53.2 degrees today.
53.
Yep. Yeah. The rhino iguana was loving it. She was like, "Yes, let's go."
Oh, I can't. Where are the spanners gone? The spanners have disappeared, and I can't add them back from StreamYard either. I have to sort it out for next week. It's a bit of a mishmash my end this week, just purely because we're still putting the shed together, as everybody knows. So hopefully next week we'll go live from down there. But Phill, would you like to tell everybody what zoo you're at, what your position is at the zoo, and what you go to on a daily basis?
Yeah, well, yeah, I work at a little place called Shepherd Wildlife Park near Cambridge, just in between Cambridge and Royston. I'm the head keeper of the park and basically run all the reptile and invert side of things, all the LVI, so the lower vertebrate and invertebrate side of things. Also look after armadillos. Still currently look after female marmosets, although they are going to be moving on to another section, onto the primate section instead. And also help out with some of the carnivores if needed. So you help out with things like the maned wolves, tigers if they need it.
I think we'll talk about those maned wolves at 9 o'clock because of the subject matter.
Yep.
But what reptiles have you got? What reptiles do you look after?
Range of things. So, things like plated lizard, fire skink, tortoises, leopard tortoises, sulcata tortoises. Then we've got rhino iguana, who's absolutely amazing, but unfortunately may be leaving us to go to another zoo and stuff, which I'm glad about. And that'll be a tough day even when and if that happens. But it's very, very likely.
Is that for a breeding project or just
probably not for breeding? But yeah, she's not going to go far away if she does go. Only like an hour and a half down the road. So I've known the curator there of reptiles, so I've already kind of said to him like, if you do have, I better get visiting rights, sort of thing. You expect me to be coming over fairly regularly to see her, kind of thing. And he was like, "That's not a problem." Kind of thing. Then we've got your turtles like snapping turtle, Chinese softshell turtles, sandneck turtles, Cuvius dwarf caiman. I think so. Yeah, nice little selection of reptiles. They've got amphibians with white tree frogs, dark frogs, golden mantellas, blue leg mantellas, and then a whole bunch of invertebrates.
I mean, you're that connected and that much in love with the zoo. Where do you live, Phil?
In the zoo.
Actually, in the zoo. Before you ask, Phill is not an exhibit. You can't go to the zoo and say, "Can I feed?" Well, you probably could go to the zoo and ask to feed Phill, and he'd probably say, "Sure."
I don't know if he'll pick it up, but I pick the window up a little bit more and put my camera up there. Right over there is ringtail lemurs. Got monkeys over there. Got porcupines down there. So I can sit here over more and have my breakfast and look
Just
over
to put that in
lemurs.
perspective, right? That's my kitchen window in the garden, and it's just concrete. Tim said, "Do you want another dwarf?"
No, we've got two. The enclosure wouldn't be big enough for a third.
Hope the bear attraction.
They might.
Then obviously there's going to be people watching and thinking, my son, my daughter, or myself wants to get into zookeeping. How do you go about it?
Many ways. The way I primarily did it was volunteering. So, well, work experience from school. Can't do it as young as I've done it nowadays, but I first done work experience for 2 weeks when I was in upper school at Colchester Zoo when I was like 14, 15. Most places got to be 18 nowadays to do actual work experience, but back then I was able to do it at 14, 15 years old. So, and then when I went to college at 16, done a year's volunteering, work experience volunteering 1 day a week on the weekends at Banham Zoo. Done that for a year. And then from the second year of college, studying animal management, came here and they ain't got rid of me yet. And
what did you do at college when you were doing the volunteering?
So I studied animal management, national diploma in animal management, 2-year course, BTEC, and whilst doing that, done 2 years of volunteering 1 day a week. 1 year at Banham Zoo, 1 year here, carried on here afterwards, sort of thing, and kind of pestered them enough to give me a part-time job as a cover keeper, and then slowly started building my own section, and then eventually went, "Oh, you need me full-time, don't you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we think we do." Feel okay, cool. And then eventually, "You need me the head of section now, don't you?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay." And that was my way. It was just
I was about to say, you're not just a zookeeper; you're actually head of section, which is
and now I'm
incredible.
I'm the only head keeper on here. So there's two curators above me, and then there's me as head keeper, and then there's the animal keepers.
So what's the? Oh, hello to everybody in chat as well. I do apologise for not saying hello to everybody. So, as a zookeeper and head keeper, what's the difference in those roles?
Essentially, I'm basically in charge of an area, part of an area that's then part of a wider section. So the curator's got overall control over it, but then I've got a bit that I kind of manage for them, and then I basically manage, the keepers that are on that section with me and stuff, and the volunteers on that round with me, sort of thing of right, what he's doing on a daily basis, what he's doing on a weekly basis, monthly basis, this, that, the other, liaising with my curator about different jobs and stuff or different projects. As I've down and liaise with the directors.
Phill gets the house as well.
So there's a lot of sort of management involved. Bigger zoos, there'd be even more management than what I currently do. So, like if we went to somewhere like Chester or London, the head keeper would be doing even more paperwork stuff than what I currently do, and so it can vary depending on zoo and the size of zoo. And like, yeah, some places might just have like one head keeper that is literally oversees everything on the whole site, and it's perhaps making sure that everything's being done on every section. So yeah, it can vary from place to place.
And this is why when you message Phill, it takes them about 2 hours to respond. Zoe says, if you can't sleep at night, are you allowed to wander around the zoo?
No.
But some of my favourite lives from over the years has been Phill after hours, as soon as the place is shut, going live on TikTok. I absolutely adore those lives.
As long as it's daylight and that there's someone else on site around, sort of thing, I can sort of do that occasionally. But yeah, if it's dark, unless there's an animal that needs looking at late at night or checking on, and that's all been approved that needs to be looked at, they don't want anyone walking around on site. Obviously, I can go out off site, so I can walk up and down basically this one pathway to access out into the car park and get to my car and go anywhere I want to go, or vice versa.
Is that just purely like safety reason in case something's escaped? And
purely safety and security reasons. Yeah.
And then Amy says, "What's Phil's favourite animal at the zoo?" What a question! I think I might know the answer.
Well, I can only ever narrow it down to 2 individuals. And it's always the same 2 individuals, and that is Carmen, the rhino iguana, and Rosie, the female red-crested Turco, who's actually on my logo. So,
just gonna go.
You don't know what Turcos are. They are some of the most brightly coloured birds you're ever likely to see. And Rosie is just exceptional because she's a dog in bird's clothing.
She's beautiful.
She's absolutely stunning. She was hand-reared at another zoo. And so she greets me every morning when I open up in the morning. She's at the window in the tortoise building looking out at me. And when I go in, she's normally jumping straight on my shoulder to say hi and stuff.
And if you guys want to see Rosie, either head over to Phil's zoo or check out his TikTok, which is also incredible inverts and other animals. And have you put this on your Facebook page as well?
I'm starting to put some bits on Facebook and stuff, a little bit and stuff, and trying to spread myself out everywhere, kind of thing. But we do experiences as well, so people can pay to come and go into the enclosure with the tortoises and Rosie and stuff. Where if she, most of the time she plays one, comes down and sits on your arm or on your shoulder or on your head.
And I think I've been saying for about 3 years we're going to actually come over to the zoo. I think I'm probably towards the end of the summer. I think I'm going to try my hardest to. Josh says, "Do you have any scorpions at the zoo? If so, what species?"
We do. Got 2 Heterometra silenus. So the Asian forests. Although if you come, they are labelled up wrong because on the official records, Silenus doesn't exist when it does. So it was a bone of contention.
Is that the official zoo records, not the...
It's the program that's used for record keeping does not recognise a lot of species of invertebrate that are kept. So put in the the scientific name, and it comes up blank.
How many times have you attempted to go along with the marker and just go no?
It is so annoying when that happens, and to get a species recognised by the company that does it all takes years. And it's not as simple as going, well, look, here's a scientific paper describing the species, and we have the species. No. It's the nearest we could get was Spinnifer.
That's
They
incredible.
came to us as Longimanus, and I took one look at them and I was like, well, they're not Longimanus. What are you on about? Sort of thing. I was like, they're Solanus. So they're saying, and then it was like, oh, Phil, and then it was like, Phil, we can't find this on the program. I'm like, well, that's what they are.
When it comes to things like scorpions, spiders, and other animals, let's say if I had a Longimanus here, let's say if I had, I don't know, a black widow, for instance, and a couple of snakes that I wanted to get rid of, could I literally just turn up at the zoo and go, Phil, put these in somewhere, put these in your zoo?
No. So with invertebrates, it's easier, but with a lot of things, there's a lot of legislation involved. So invertebrates kind of get exempt from a lot of things, but we might not have an enclosure suitable. We might not have something free. With something like a black widow, that's DWA. On our zoo license, we may not have a thing for highly venomous kind of thing. And those sort of protocols. We have to have protocols for our venomous, and our venomous are Brachypelma and Grammosolas and Tetrametris and Platymerus, and we have to have protocols for those sort of thing. Which, let's face it, like if you do get bitten or stung by one of them, you're bloody stupid, and it's just going to hurt, sort of thing.
So
but
what protocols? If you got bitten by, I don't know, let's say a curly hair, what protocols would you then have to follow? What would you have to report? What would you have to do?
We have to report the bite. So basically, we have to go for everything. So we literally got a big basic poster or A4 piece of paper with basically what to do and who to sort of contact within the zoo if within this, that, the other. So for all our ones, literally everything we put is low because it's low risk. They're very low risk things, but even to put only specially trained people can enter those enclosures and all this, that, the other. But just it's one of the things that it comes from licensing and stuff. And the things they often don't know, they just go, "Oh, these are venomous, and venom must be dangerous," and don't take into consideration well, actually, these are really weak venom.
Is it literally just a couple of government officials that do not deal with animals and just go?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, that's venomous, right?
It's on a for licenses, but normally about 6 people going around inspecting.
Wow.
That'll be someone from the council, someone from another zoo, vets, and someone who's perhaps nothing to do with animals at all, so more health and safety side of things. So someone who's there as to see things that's they're not animal based at all, and it's to see what they think of things sometimes. So there's a lot of those. That was one of the things that I came up with this year was sort of like, where's your venom and bite protocols and scene protocols for these species? And we're like, that's so low, I don't think. But yeah, it's just what you have to do, and sort of do it just to keep them happy.
Because when you guys comment, I can't see the YouTube comments as such. It's on StreamYard, so again, please bear with us. Tim said that my drinking out of ours. We have unpacked the glasses. It's just this is what I had on the way home from work. Tim from Exotic Closures. We bought a zoo film. Is a good one to give an idea on Scott of what zoos have to do and the hoops. Oh, we brought a zoo, the actual film.
Yeah, it's a film and a book.
I have to have a look at that one because it just seems. For me personally, if I want an animal that's not DWA, I can just go get it, keep it in the home, not a problem. With zoos, it just seems for yourself, Phil, you must get very frustrated with red tape.
Certainly can be, and you never know what they're going to look at, and sometimes sometimes they look at things. Sometimes things get mentioned. You're like, what were you on about? Sometimes, and it makes no sense. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes you want to, there's sometimes you go, well, we want you to find these things. Please mention these things, and they never do, and that frustrates you. If it's something that you sort of, if we mention this, we can actually improve this. If we've been talking about it or whatever, and it hasn't happened, we sometimes then want the license inspectors to mention stuff, and that this goes across the board. Every zoo has it. So, so yeah, it's always a very nerve-wracking day when inspection goes on, because you never know what they're gonna ask you. They do want obviously access to all areas, kind of thing. So you want to make sure you literally lead up. You're making sure that everything's immaculate, and trying to make sure that there's nothing that could be. They might go, well, that's wrong, kind of thing.
Job videos coming out next week.
Sort of thing. So there's all sorts of things like that, and sometimes some of the things that can mention, if there's slightly too much poo in an enclosure, they'll mention that, and it's all like, well, animals poo, sort of thing, and sort of thing. So you're perhaps cleaning out the animals like more than you normally would. Sort of thing. It's a real difficult one. I mean, when it comes to sort of the LVI side of things, so the reptiles and stuff, especially reptiles, they are getting stricter with it, which it needs to be, and so. But sometimes they can be a little bit heavy-handed with some of it.
Tim says, I'll just read out a couple of comments and there's a question. Tim, again, exactly closure, said the whole legislation is so backwards. When he had the shop, he could keep DWA in the shop under the pet shop license, whereas a zoo has to have separate licenses.
It all comes under zoo license, but they will stipulate on the license what you can and So we have tigers here, so that they are on our license that we are licensed to have tigers, sort of thing. But if they deemed that we weren't suitable, which hopefully that would never happen, but it's happened at other places where they got once we've gone in and like, this isn't suitable, you're not equipped to deal with these, they can revoke that on your license and put it as a condition or direction of you can only have a license if you don't have these animals, sort of thing, or we're not going to grant you, you can have a zoo license, but you're not going to have a license for these.
Tim says, so much legislation. My heart goes out to you, Phil, for your dedication. Mate, Mad Manx has been a channel member for 10 months. Don't forget to hit the like. Cheers, Dave. Cheers, Nat. We had a notification from Craig being a channel member for 19 months as well.
Legislation, even down to live feeds nowadays as well. Live feeds are now being inspected a lot more.
Well, I spoke to. This is something that I was going to mention actually, Phil, because just going completely off topic, going from a conversation we had a long time ago about live feeding to ill snakes or whatever it is. I was chatting to a guy from the RSPCA who said it's not exactly the police that will prosecute you for doing it, it's the RSPCA. And if you feed, even if the snake's ill, and you feed live feed to it, you can be prosecuted because that animal is being killed inhumanely.
Yeah, well, when I talk about, I'm talking about like crickets and locusts and stuff. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
In terms of that, as far as I'm aware, I mean, no one may have heard differently, maybe, but I know a few years ago when I was at a conference, was it Matt Randall? He was a vet or one of the vet nurses at ZSL at the time, and he said that he was brought on like live feeding of vertebrate prey to stuff, and he went, every prosecution in the UK has failed.
Oh,
because like he mentioned, we're a whole bunch of zookeepers there, just everyone was like, well, it's illegal, and they went, that's not. There's no law against it. Sort of thing, and it was like every single time the RSPCA tried to, they failed on actually prosecuting for live feeding.
Just getting back to topic. Still Weber's Rebecca says, what's the most scary or intimidating. I'd say, what would you personally find the most intimidating animal that you work with, Phil? What's the one where you kind of have to take a deep breath before you go and deal with?
Here, there isn't really much here at all because, like, yeah, we've got dangerous animals like the tiger. You know, we've got tigers, which obviously they're dangerous animals, but you don't go in with them. Kind of thing. There's always mesh between you and stuff there, so you're never actually in with those. So you know, they're not really all that anti. I mean, it's intimidating when Kellaby roars at you, and literally your insides vibrate because of the roar, because of the sound of it. Sort of thing. That can, you know, you're like, yep, no, fair enough. But you know, at the same time, you're like, there's some strong mesh in between us that you can't get me, kind of thing. So, I would say probably in terms of what I've worked with them, probably the most intimidating is not really the word I would use, but the ones I was the most careful was the macaques, grabbing macaques that we had, purely because of Tammy. If she got an opportunity, she would grab you, kind of thing. But again, you know, you just go, well, make sure you don't get an opportunity to grab me, kind of thing. So I've never worked with anything super intimidating. There's things I wouldn't want to work with. Chimps. Wouldn't want to work with chimps. Sort of thing.
No, I get that. Yeah. kind of I've seen documentaries on chimps in the wild, and they can be very aggressive to their own, that's for sure.
Kind of thing, like, yeah, that wouldn't interest me whatsoever to work with them, sort of thing. But other things, you know, I mean, the biggest thing I've had any dealings with is, you know, very briefly was polar bear, feeding the polar bear. But again, you know, there's strong mesh in between you. So, like, well, I mean, the most intimidating thing was actually walking over the top, and there's just one banging on something. You're like, well, okay, yep, I don't want to be in there with you.
What do you reckon stronger out of like a gorilla or a polar bear?
Ooh. Because they'd use it differently. Gorillas hugely strong, but incredibly gentle at the same time. Kind of thing. Whereas polar bears, being predators, you'd stand a better chance with a gorilla than you would a polar bear.
Well, to be fair though, Phil, you'd be alright with a gorilla because they'd be like, "Hello, gorilla."
You know, just don't smile at them. Don't smile at primates. That's threatening.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just literally straight face and keep fingers crossed?
Because smiling is baring teeth. So it's actually aggressive.
I never knew that.
And so yeah, don't go up to like a chimp or someone and smile at it. Because you're being aggressive to them.
That is incredible.
Sort of thing. But you know,
again, you put human traits, or I certainly do, onto animals. So I would have just assumed that you could smile at a gorilla, and stupidly, it'd probably smile back because
you're best off kind of, you know, being submissive and being like, I'm not a threat, and yourself sort of, you know, sort of kind of thing, being quiet, and so that kind of thing. That, yeah, you go up smiling, and then while you're challenging them.
What gorillas and that have you got? What primates have you actually got at the zoo?
We've got captured monkeys. We've got lemurs. And then we've got golden lion tamarins, red belly tamarins, and pygmy marmosets.
So if anybody's watching, and just going back to talking about getting into zookeeping, is there like a readily available course at a lot of the colleges that somebody could go on that would get them recognised and get them a little bit more attention on their CV.
That's where it gets complex sometimes and not quite easy at the same time. So the main qualification that most zoos recognise, I don't actually have it. It's called DIMSA. It's the diploma in management of zoo animals. You can only do that if you're working in a zoo.
Oh, catch-22.
Yeah, sort of thing. You can do it if you're a volunteer, but the volunteer course is like 3 years. If you're employed, it's a 2-year course, and that's what for many years that's what a lot of zoos always asked for was DIMSA, and it's all like, well, you've got to be already working to be able to even apply to be part of that course. That's not right.
I suppose.
But now they do kind of say, now a lot will say, equivalent qualification, because DIMSA is just a level 3, so it's just a diploma.
But they probably do that because then that's a way of saying need experience without saying need experience.
Yeah, well, a lot now will say, relevant amount of experience as well. Now does get put on things, but your base level qualification is a national diploma in animal management. But at the same time, get experience, get hands-on experience while volunteering at places, sort of thing. Because it's all well and good sometimes learning the academic side of stuff, but if you're not huge academic, I'm not, and so I learn very practically and doing things on the job and stuff. You sometimes get people that will come into a zoo that may have all these degrees, but then you give them a bucket and shovels and they ain't got a clue what to do.
I'll come back to that in 1 second, though, because Tim just said he saw a documentary the other night where they were issuing fake glasses so you could look at the gorillas without making that eye contact.
That's interesting.
Claire says you could do a volunteer and get into the zookeeping that way. She did previously say that she used to work at a zoo.
For me, volunteering is like one of the best ways. So that's the way I done it, was volunteering, and you treat that as a very, very long practical job interview.
Going back to
them how you work.
People having degrees and working in zoos and such like. When I talk to you, Phil, you come across as having several degrees in several areas of animal keeping, because your knowledge and your keeping experience is just absolutely through the roof.
Didn't go to university. I scraped through college. Sort of thing. So I got the lowest grades, sort of thing. But I go, it doesn't matter the academic side of things. You can still become a head keeper within a zoo, a head of section. You can still work at it. Yes, it can take longer, but if that's where you want to go to, whether it can be done without all the qualifications. You've got to be passionate about the job, because it's long hours, it's hard hours, it's ups and downs, sort of thing. As I've worked, working in all weathers, all heats, all everything. So it's not just 9 to 5.
I suppose one of the benefits, really, though, I mean, if you lose an animal in your personal collection, there's only you that really feels upset about it. But I suppose if you lose an animal in the zoo, you've got a whole team around you that are going through and experiencing the same emotions.
Yeah, it sometimes depends on the animal, sort of thing. So there's certain ones on my section where some of my colleagues might be like, "What are you upset about that one for?" kind of thing. And you never know how each animal's going to affect you, sort of thing. You sort of don't know. Sometimes animals you don't work with, when they go, it can actually affect you really badly. But then you realise, oh yeah, actually, I would see them every day and say hi or whatever, and then suddenly they're not there.
Do you still feel that loss, like years later, like we do with family members and friends?
Oh yeah, sometimes, yeah, because they're all have their own personalities and stuff. You can't, even if you get the same species, it doesn't replace that individual. Sort of thing. They always say, you shouldn't have formed attachments and stuff. You're not human if you don't. I think.
Claire's just said, loved watching our leaf cutter ant area, watching them cut and carry huge pieces of leaf along.
Yeah,
And
they're one of my favourites to watch.
Are underrated, I feel, still. And then you mention leaf cutters, and everybody goes, "Oh, wow!" And it's like, well, you can buy them and keep them, and get that community going. Tim Baxter, just Scorpion says, "Do you have any birds of prey?"
We do mainly owls, and then caracara as well. So we got we've got snowy owls, Bengal eagle owls, great grey owls, white-faced Scops owls, and striated caracara.
Liz, just put your YouTube link back into the comments. If you're not subscribed to Phill, hit him up with a subscription. When it comes to inverts in general, Phill is more knowledgeable than the majority of us that actually do YouTube. And when he does his lives, you can ask on a Monday night. You can always drop him a question in those comments. Liv says you've got to tell everybody about the aardvarks.
Again, you can pay to do an experience with the aardvarks, and they do not know personal space at all.
Oh, so they come jump on you and gear cuddles and.
Yep, and knock you over, stick their noses straight in your crotch. Yeah, I think for some reason it's not a hugely popular experience, and I think it's probably because people just don't know what the aardvarks are. I think, but they're big, a lot bigger than what people think, and they're soppy as anything. And I think you can do anything with them. Like if they wanted to, they could do some damage. Their claws are massive for getting into termite mounds, sort of thing. But they're like big dogs again as well, that sort of thing. And especially if you've got mealworms on you, that they love you.
I'll tell you what I was surprised by the size of when I seen Adams at his zoo was the Komodo.
Yeah. Well, his isn't even fully grown yet, is it?
But you just do not think they're that big.
Barfo Pete.
Literally, I couldn't look at the actual sign of what was in the enclosure. So we've gone through the little black curtain bit because I've got the two boys in front of me, and then there's big, massive enclosure, and there he is, just chilling. I was just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, and the size of it was just
amazing. It was. Would love to work with them one day if we could.
She said, like, people don't realise how big aardvarks are. It's like, yeah, I kind of get that from that experience. I mean, elephants, giraffes, rhinos, you expect them to be massive, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But a lot of people don't realise how big capybaras are, and they've become one of the most popular animals here at the park over the past few years.
I reckon they're about that size.
Yeah, like our biggest capybara is about 70 kilos. They're big animals. They're huge.
Are they the ones that have to be kept in the dark?
No.
What's the rodent that's in the dark for in order to be able to see them being active?
Are you thinking of like naked mole rats?
Might be. Again, Adam's got them. It is.
Sort of thing. Capybaras are always outside. They swim, semi-aquatic.
Parts of his spiritual animal is a capybara. Amy's daughter was obsessed by capybaras. Is there anything at the zoo that you haven't got, which, hand on heart, you would absolutely love and adore, and have been bugging the zoo to try and get hold of?
Oh, there's loads. And would love Komodo. It's not practical here, but I would love Komodo. So I sometimes joke about it every now and
then. For me, and I should imagine a lot in chat, and I do apologise about the comment, but for me, it's like it feels very much like if a zoo wants one and they can get one, they can just build an enclosure and put it in.
No.
So why would it be impractical for your zoo to get their hands on a Komodo?
The cost for the building alone would probably be sort of too much. And because then the what was called an EEP species, you actually need to get permission from the coordinator. I actually know the coordinator, but they basically have to go, right, they basically assess, keeping experience, what your enclosure plans are, and this, that, the other, before they approve you to hold the species, and then they go, right, you can have this one from this place, whatever. So if it's on what we call an EEP species, so here, like our tigers, our pygmy marmosets, our red pandas, there's our golden iron tamarins.
I love red pandas, man. Red
We have to have
pandas.
permission from their coordinators to have those.
So is that like a coordinator for all the red pandas in the UK and a coordinator for all the
whole of Europe?
Whole of Europe?
Yep. So, like the red pandas, I believe the coordinator is still at Rotterdam Zoo. So you apply to, when we wanted to, we was looking at the red pandas, we had to apply to them, to the coordinator at Rotterdam, to be like, we're thinking about, we're thinking we would like to get red pandas. What do we need to do? They then send over all the guidelines, and then go, right, we're going to do this, and then they approve, and then they go, right, you're going to get these ones from here, kind of thing. So it's not a case of, we'd like that animal, let's just go and get it.
Quick look at the comments. Connor said, went to London Zoo to see their Komodo exhibit when they announced that they had finished building it. When we got there, they hadn't got the animals yet, so we just stood looking at an empty enclosure. Tim Backstaff, just Scorpion, said, have you got any crocodilians?
Yep, got a pair of Cuvier Stork Cayman, which are both seized ones, actually. They were kept without licenses.
Did you know sloths are on the DWA in this country?
Yeah.
They've got some big claws.
Huge claws on them. They've actually got some, although there's an Afra, they do have some teeth on them.
Would they actually attack you, Phill?
It's very unlikely.
Because they've got the potential to.
I've done a couple of days at another zoo, actually working with some sloth. Because something that's been mentioned here, and I was like, well, I have no, I know what a sloth is, but that's about it, kind of thing. I've never worked with them before. So went on a keeper exchange placement for 2 days at another zoo, basically to see how they do their reptile section and stuff, and they have to have sloth there as well on that section. So got to actually work with the sloth and find out just how delicate they are. But again, you can do experiences with. They do experiences with their sloth, and stuff, but they've got some serious claws on
them. Chris Halart says Komodo at Crocodiles of the World. Is Crocodiles of the World any good, Chris? Because I keep thinking about popping
fantastic.
Over.
Fantastic place. I
read a review where somebody said, you can get around it in 20 minutes.
Years ago, I came very close to being a senior reptile keeper there. I just got pipped to the post by someone who just had a little bit more experience than me, so I was almost working with that Komodo. Sort of thing.
But if they said, Phill, you can come and get the position that you originally wanted today, if they messaged you right now, would you say yes, or would you be content in staying where you're at?
I'd probably go, because actually they got some fantastic species there, so potential for more growth and more experience with other species and stuff. Even with more crocodilian experience. I mean, they've got everything. They've got Tomistoma there and stuff, and things. The only breeding group of Galapagos tortoises in any zoo in the UK. Sort of thing. Dirk is huge, massive male clap. Sort of thing. And they've got a huge amount of knowledge at that place. Sean Foggett, I've known Sean for a few years now. and so his passion for crocodiles, and Colin's knowledge on crocodiles is something else.
Amy's just said, loving this live. It's so interesting with all the amazing information being spoken about. It's only amazing because Phil's got all the information and all the knowledge. 100%. Chris just said, crocodiles of the world is amazing. So many reptiles, crocodiles, and alligators. They have an enclosure with loads of crocodiles, and they do feeding displays. Oh, get rid of the kids.
Well, they've got an enclosure of like 30 Nile crocs.
What was the
young
what was
Niles?
the zoo that you worked at again? Sorry, because she's just said we had a crocodile swamp, and they closed it, and the crocs have been rehomed in other zoos. Sad times.
Sounds like Paynton.
We did have a corpse plant in there, and it bloomed and stank out the whole area.
That sounds like, I'm guessing Paynton Zoo, because I know Paynton had a bit called Croc Swamp, which was awesome, and that had the corpse plants that's literally stink of rotting flesh. Because I think they had some available one, but I was like, "Can we get some? Can we get some?" And like, I just got told no, but not having something that stinks of rotten flesh. And I was like, "Oh, go on."
Amy, you're not the only one to call Phill it. She says, I'll call Phill the walking animal encyclopedia after Amy saying it about him. It is crazy because we have a lot of people on the live, and a lot of them have got a lot of knowledge, and then Phil's got all the knowledge in one person. It is crazy. And just going back to the fact that you haven't got a degree, Phill, still,
okay.
I know I've mentioned it on every live we've done, but it still blows my mind because you certainly come across as being educated to a degree, if not higher level, dude.
It's 30 years of keeping and just reading books and chatting with other people and networking, and then just little bits staying.
Just before we start having a look at what you keep at home, Phil, before you got into zookeeping itself, I know we said, like, how did you get into zookeeping and all the rest of it? And I think when it comes to childhoods and parents, you had exceptionally special periods of both.
I brainwashed them when I was 7, so and stuff. But yeah, no, they've supported me throughout it. Cost them a lot of money over the years, still costing them money. And really all thanks to one videotape, one VHS. What comes down to that my mum bought me when I was 2. Which I still have to this day. I can't play it on everything because I don't have a VHS player.
Well, that's my next question was going to say. I was going to say, have you still got the VHS player?
Sort of thing. And nowadays it's all like, it's Philip Schofield at Jersey Zoo. Sort of thing. Way back when Gerald Durrell was still alive. So there's even an interview with Gerald Durrell on there. And stuff. If you haven't heard who Gerald Durrell is, he is the reason that modern zoos are the way they are, essentially. He is the person that in the 50s when zoos should be for conservation, not just for entertainment and stuff. Let's conserve animals, which a lot of people laughed at the time. And really, pretty much every zoo in the UK will end up following his footsteps and stuff. He was the one that in his time was like, I don't care if the people don't see the animals need to be comfortable. Sort of thing, and even going down like, why have we got this animal if it's not endangered? This one doesn't need to be in captivity. We need to, need to look after stuff that needs to be saved. And built his own like university on the site of the zoo there. That some of the people that worked there literally saved species from the brink. And things like was Russian kestrel. There was 4 left in the world, and they saved them. Brought the species back from 4 individuals and stuff, and gone back into the wild and stuff, and repopulated the wild
from
4 individuals. Yeah, something like
that. And how many roughly do they think's in the wild now?
I think it's like over 1,000 now. Okay. they're still like endangered and stuff, but it's all like but it's been a success and stuff. And it took someone literally abseiling down, and what they like discovered, because I've even got a VHS on that as well, which I can't watch anymore. But it was like they found that they would double clutch, so they would just remove eggs, and so they would find they would double clutch if you removed eggs. So they would just go and remove eggs, so they get double the amount out and stuff, and hatch them out in captivity on Mauritius, and then rear them up and release and stuff, and things like that. Absolutely amazing. And when one of my career highlights was meeting Lee Durrell with Gerald Durrell's wife a few years ago at a amphibian conservation symposium at the Royal Institution in London, and me and Anne being like, oh god, like her husband was one of my biggest inspirations to get into zoos when I was 2.
There is a comment there actually from Amy saying, is there anyone who you really look up to and that really inspires you as a zookeeper?
Many people, like Gerald Durrell up there along with Lee Durrell, so absolutely up there. Obviously David Attenborough, of course. But people that you wouldn't have heard of me in my working life, Frances Baines, and being able to know that I can send Frances Baines a message about lighting and she'll just respond to me like pretty quickly about stuff.
But before you go any further, could you just explain who Frances Baines is?
The UV Queen. Basically, she's completely retired now, as far as I'm aware. So she's not doing all the testing anymore and stuff. But she was a vet, and then in her retirement from vet, she started studying lighting and UV lighting, especially. Most of what we know about UV lighting comes from her, as well as Professor Gary Ferguson in the States and stuff. And what Frances Baines doesn't know about UV lighting probably isn't worth knowing, kind of thing. She's an incredible person. So, but there's a huge amount of people that I look up to, and that inspire me throughout.
Your parents keep a few reptiles as well, don't they? Hey, Dale.
We've got quite a few. Yep, quite a few, and kind of always expanding as well, and stuff, as well as invertebrates as well, and up until recently, birds. Don't have any birds anymore. I did have some birds. So,
could one of the moderators just while I remember put the link to Phil's Middenhall show group on Facebook into the comments, because Phil's parents, alongside Phill, obviously, are running a Inverts show a bit later on in the year. I attended last year. It was absolutely amazing. This year, me and Tarantula Rookie have actually got a table at the show, so if you can come, please pop along. All the details are in this Facebook group. If one of the moderators could drop that into the comments, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Saturday, 2nd of November, so it's a Saturday show.
Which is better, I think, because
and because it's just after Halloween, it's Halloween themed. Sort of thing. So if you come dressed up, you get a discounted entrance.
With it being a Saturday, a lot of us are like, you buy certain things, you get back home late, and then you're at work all day Monday before you get to actually do anything with them or rehouse them kind of late Monday evening. With it being a Saturday, you've got all day Sunday, which I think is absolutely awesome. I wish a lot of the invert shows would actually convert over to a Saturday. I think it helped us all out.
Yeah, it was something because we weren't sure, because most shows are on a Sunday. About AES has always been on a Saturday, and that was always only ever sort of Saturday one. And last year when they were looking at booking, basically the Paris Council wouldn't allow any of the halls or gym or anything to be booked out on a Sunday. They're like, no, we can't book anything on a Sunday. You can only weekend day is Saturday. And we're sort of like, oh, we weren't sure. So we did ask a few people, and everyone went, yeah, no, we can go on Saturday. And most people went, we prefer Saturday. It's easier. We still get a day or weekend.
Amy says, I protest for Phil's Inverts hoodies. Everyone loves a hoodie. I've got one of Phil's mugs, but I think it's.
I do plan to get
half
hoodies at some point. I do plan to stock hoodies at some point, so they will be coming. I'm not going to say when, but hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have hoodies in stock.
Awesome. Can we have a quick look at some of the inverts that you keep? Because I know that you keep a varied selection of inverts, to say the least.
See if I can get this one without getting a huge amount of feedback.
You probably just have to knock the microphone off on one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, this is the bit that I've been looking forward to the most. When Phil agreed to come on the live today, I was like, oh, we'll get to see some of his bits and bobs. You guys at home might have to. I don't know what's happened there either, Osman. I wonder. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Let me just see if I can't do it. Has it got it back? There we go. Awesome. I had to come off this app, go into YouTube, and do it on the come back again. You got one of them? Yeah. Awesome. Phil Calm.
Right, is that right?
Apologies for that, Osman. I ain't got a clue what's happening there. Hey, MH. But I've known Osman a very, very long time. We're pretty good friends, dude. He's awesome. Hey, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yep. We have feedback though. You might have to turn the sound down on the laptop.
That's right. For some reason, I didn't have sound on my phone, but now I do. Yep, I can hear you on my phone. So, right, let's.
Awesome.
Right. See, I remember how to do this. Let's go my camera.
Apex says he's loving the beard cam. Phil has got an epic beard. This is your
the mess because yeah, it's very much a working collection and breeding collection and stuff. So there's all sorts in here. Up here, various isopods, centipedes, various spiders. Got Madagascan land snails in there. Yeah, Magnifica snails. Got
You got Jupiters as well in your film.
isopods, yep, in there. You can just make that out as a banana crab. There's
Hey,
just his legs there. For this, we've got my olive millipedes.
a beautiful setup. Do you find they climb?
Oh, these climb, yeah, these go right up to the top. Yeah, they are. The Aetes are sort of semi-arboreal. There's vampire crab. This tank will actually be going because the owner has now returned to the UK, so this will be going back to his at some point.
Crab.
So yeah, these are the purple vampire crabs in here. So the owner of them basically has been living in the jungle for, well, sort of in the jungle and the desert for a year and a half with his family.
Wow.
He's now returned. He literally came to the park 2 days after like coming back into the UK. So, he's like cave crickets. Asian opus.
Oh, the ogre faced. Beautiful.
Barbados snails.
Oh,
These
they're nice.
are Pleurodonte Isabella blue. Is
it just me in the comments that wants to go and live with Phill, or are we all getting the same vibe?
She only molted the other day.
Beautiful.
There is vampire crabs in this big coffin. Where my Metallica's hiding that down at the moment, but people will say about license up. She does come out and bask under the light. But you might be able to make out a giant katydid.
Oh, beautiful.
And there is also the grasshoppers in there as well. They're up there. They look like stick and text, but they're not.
Amy Sparkle says, wow, must take you days to feed them all.
Oh, yeah, literally. Isopods, scorpions, small snails. But this is all really tiny stuff. Even like specialized springtails, various isopods.
Chris says, where do you sleep? In with the isopods.
So they're the Oreo crumbles. They're a basic species. Yeah, got basic species, and I've got more specialized species, all sorts of ones. Got Rosea. Got radiant sun beetles in there. There's Maury and stuff. Here, a lot of people's favourite icebergs, the rubber duckies.
Wow.
So this is my main group of rubber duckies. I do have two groups of these guys.
How many adults have you got in each one, Phill?
this one I haven't counted, to be honest. The second group's only got literally just a few in, about 5 adults, and then they've just had babies.
Oh, congratulations!
Sort of thing in the second lot, which is nice.
We've got the 10 together, but we've not had them nowhere near long enough to expect
main
any
colony
babies.
of Panda Kings. Got 3 colonies of Panda Kings.
Still, whoever says, "Oh, great! Now Jace wants rubber duckies."
Now, of course, I do have the red pandas as well, which are breeding. Okay. Over here. Oh, literally all sorts. So, various cockroaches, isopods, pancake slugs, beetles. So, another rows there and there. All these guys, if they're out, there's one there. See, so it's going to hide it. In here are sapphire roaches. Incredibly small, incredibly pretty little cockroach. Right, you think my emeralds are pretty? These, I think, possibly might trump emeralds.
Are these the blue ones? What, bluey purple?
Yeah, kind of bluey sort of colour.
So I've seen the picture. I've seen them on Microexotics website as well. Never.
Yeah, well, yeah, I got these from Micro a while ago, but they've been breeding. They don't get. I mean, that there's a nymph. Probably another model now, be adult.
Oh.
So the nymphs are brown. You just see that bit of an adult head spoken out there. But they have orange dots on them as well. They're absolutely stunning.
So you've definitely got room for a little hammock for me there. Definitely.
Yeah, 2 species of headlight roach. So you've got the subcincta, which have the white wings, Vericosa, which have the brown wings. We get more isopods, salmon pink.
Amy H, I think Phill does have amber bees. It's either Phill or Jeremy. I can't remember. Do you have the amber bees still?
I don't.
Might be
And
Jeremy.
here my blue death feigning beetles. Which, even in this weather, have a heat lamp.
Could charge people extra for a tour of the room. Claire says you're going to get another room.
A big pile of isopods.
Do the inverts the house off Phill?
Okay. More isopods. More isopods. More isopods. Persifera striata in the arboreal coffin.
Oh, Amy's got ember bees arriving tomorrow. You lucky lady.
Oh no! I've always said I didn't think I do have ember bees. I'll show you the ember bees. Emerald roaches. Yellow spotted assassin bugs. So Platimeris good to the penis. Don't see these very often. I got these 2018, 2019.
No, you've got pancake slugs as well, Osmeister.
Yeah, I've got pancake slugs and I've got leatherback slugs as well.
Somebody's just said, what was it? Chris says you've got more animals in the room than the zoo outside. Have you got more species in that room than what the zoo has?
There's a high chance of that. There is a high chance of that. There's a Pokey Famosa down there.
Yeah, I know, Stu. Phill, have you got any isopods? I started laughing.
There is a nice big male spinifer, heterometra spinifer on that one.
Beautiful enclosure.
Lovely. Got a nice sized male emperor in that one that he doesn't come out very often. Okay. Got me Nebos. Still waiting on this girl to actually give birth. I paired her beginning of March last year. Let's see. Is there anything? No, she's still fat. Still cooking. I still got the male as well, so
Fingers crossed.
Phil come out to say hi.
Rebecca said, "Okay, Phil, is there any isopod species you don't have that you want?"
Loads, absolutely loads.
You speak to Nicola, you speak to Dan, and then you check out Micro Exotics. You see how many species of isopod there actually is. It's like, oh my word.
Yeah, you start speaking to even just looking at some of the like isopod pages in Korea and Thailand and stuff, and you're just like, damn, some of them. So yeah, all those. Don't know if we'll see her because she might be buried, but there is Goliath beetle, female Goliath beetle in there. Hopefully, laying lots of eggs. And this big one got he's out and about. Hopefully the female is laying lots of eggs. Oh, she's out and about. Both out. That's Messinarina torquata immacucoleus.
She's beautiful.
That's the male. Then the
He's
female
beautiful.
there. So hopefully,
She's beautiful as well.
laying lots of eggs for me.
I hope so.
And then I got Pokey Regalis in there. Yeah, lots and lots of isopods, and then there's more through here. So I got this one is actually I'm yet to do the video for this one, but I've filmed the whole build of this for my channel, and there's vampire crabs in here.
Awesome.
There's one just at the base of that plant, actually. We'll be able to see. These are the just a sign of pagan.
I know how you feel, Rebecca. Rebecca says, I forget my kids' names at times, and Phil remembers all these scientific names for everything.
And then with these, this is the first time I've actually used it. This is the Arcadia Luminize LED. So this is app controlled, just on your phone. So it has all the times on your phone for it, and it gradually comes on and gradually goes off.
Oh, awesome.
So you can kind of recreate that sort of dawn and dusk. And there's a young Samapeus Languibuseri.
Oh, nice.
Don't see those very often. That was gifted to me. And here, actually, this is a mature male. So if anyone's got a female, mature male pseudo Haplopus species blue. And then beetles. And after these guys emerged, lots and lots of fruit flies. That's the joy of keeping fruit beetles. And then, yeah, if you thought I didn't like spiders, I do have a spider on my bed. And if you thought I didn't like scorpions, I do have a blanket with a scorpion printed on it.
We needed a shower curtain when we moved in here, but Sarah ordered one before I had a chance to, because she knows exactly what I would have done.
There's yet to be anything in the bathroom or the kitchen, but at some point that might happen.
Where? Oh, Bart says, so that's the place of magic happens still in your bedroom.
That's it.
And then there's various things
That's
that
why. That's
working
why
on.
Night Owl looks so happy all the time.
There you go. These are my newest Jupiters.
Where'd you go for your Jupiters, Phil?
There's a nice little group in there, so hopefully, I've actually got 2 groups. I'm keeping these ones separate to my other ones. The other ones haven't really bred, so I'm hoping that these ones will, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got ours from Post Pods. If we get babies, do you want to do a bit of a DNA swap?
Yeah, always up for a DNA swap.
Awesome.
So these ones, I literally, you can see I've gone from the buy shop 60 quid for, and there's like 8 in there. Bargain.
What are they?
Jupiters.
For 60 quid?
Yeah.
TSF obviously didn't know what they got there, did they? I bet they bought a collection.
Bargain. And same with the bumblebees. These have been breeding.
Oh.
Virus species bumblebee.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And look at the amount of springtails in there as well.
They're beautiful.
But that is all. That substrate is the MK Exotics custodian. Then, if you don't want to make your own substrates or anything, because let's face it, it can take time, it can take space and stuff.
For me, Phil,
I use that compost with a lot of things. The new Horizon compost, these are the Beatles and ice pods and stuff. Works out fantastically.
I do buy iPod substrate because I get quite my anxiety go through the roof because I'm thinking, have I got everything that we need for them?
That stuff
in this
is
substrate?
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And then all you need to do is add some leaf litter to it.
What's your discount code for MK Exotics?
Incredible 23, I believe. I'll find it and put it in the chat.
And what's that get you at MK Exotics?
10% off if you order over £30 or more.
Amy says she uses Custodian Den and the Grub Den. They got one for Beetle Larvae as well.
Yeah, the Grub Den's really good. I'll come off this camera and go back onto the other camera.
There we go.
Just a bit of a quick thing about it is, get that fan back on. It is so hot up here. So, the grub den is fantastic for beetles and millipedes, sort of thing. And yeah, custodian den I've been using since they pretty much brought it out. So I've been using that for like a year, and every isopod I've used it with breeds super well. Even some of the difficult species. Yes, springtails boom because there's added charcoal in it.
I mean, as I was saying, when it comes to isopod mix, there's so many different things out there. There's so many different people telling you to add this or add that. Don't put this in. Don't put that in. If we mixed it ourselves, I would get quite panicked and quite anxious that have we got everything in there? Mainly because I love the isopods, but the spiders and the centipedes and the scorps and more and more things. You know what I mean?
Yep, no, absolutely. I just think
I love the idea, especially not having much time, just to be able to go. There's the bag, boom, done.
That's it. Yeah, it is more expensive because it is. You're paying someone to do it for you. Basically, the packaging, have a nice label on it and stuff. But also, it's not in the grand scheme of things. It's not hugely expensive. I mean, those bags at the show, they normally do them at 2 for a tenner.
That's not bad. That's really not bad.
Often. So, and they're like 5-litre bags. That I think that's pretty good value for someone who's, and mean, MK, they used to do a lot of isopods themselves anyway, years ago, so he knows what they need and stuff. And you can add, if you want extras added to it, you just add your extras to it. So, I add leaf litter to it and stuff. Whether that be, and it's good to add different types of leaf. So, dried leaf litter, like from Leah, Unusual Pets, leaf mulch. Insect farm is fantastic for actual mulch, so where it's rotted down, kind of thing. ProRep do the leaf litter block now, which is all chopped up leaf litter, but it's like multiple different types of leaf in it that you can't. That's all like exotic leaves and stuff, which is really cool, and actually goes a hell of a long way. So,
a lot of positive feedback there as well. Amy buys from them and said the staff were really, really helpful, and she got we should find them sooner. Again, if you follow Phill, generally when decent stuff comes out, like substrates and stuff like that, Phill will promote them and tell you exactly what he thinks of them. And with Phil's kind of his huge experience and knowledge and zookeeping and all the rest of it, he's literally, if Phill says it's good, then use it. A lot of YouTubers will message Phill and say, Phill, I've got this substrate, is it any good? And he'll say, no, throw it in the bin, or yes, use it. And we literally just go off what he says.
I've trialed out now 3 brand new substrates from MK, which he did gift me to try it out, because I sort of helped him a little. He was basically he reached out to me from my feedback of what I thought needed to be in different mixes and stuff. So like the vampire crab one is the brand new crab and snail den mix, and that's really good. I'm liking that. It's a real nice one. I've used now his brand new centipede mix, and that's going to be in a video coming out of a build for.
I bet there's no cocoa fibre in that mix.
No. No. I mean, I use cocoa fibre. I use Goya myself. I never use it with isopods or beetle larvae and stuff, but I do use it for some of the scorpions and some of the and stuff. But I always like to mix other stuff into it if I can. And so, but yeah, they've got this new centipede mix, and then I've also got had the label on it at BTS. But was launched at BTS is his brand new cockroach mix. When the labels actually go on the bag, it's my photos.
Oh, a bonus!
Sort of thing for the label, and so that's really nice. I use that. I didn't really film that using that one, but again, opened up and it felt really nice, and so and they're all just slightly different variations of mixes. So there's a lot of the same stuff in it, but in different quantities and different sizes and stuff. So like the centipede one's quite chunky mix. So but yeah, when it comes to the custodian, really good. Grubstem, really good. I've been using both of those for a year or more now. There is Jungle Den, really good for your basic planted up sort of setups. Let me put the discount code in the chat. And it should be site wide as well.
They do plants as well, don't they, MK?
Yep. Yeah, plants are always top notch.
Osmo has just put your channel link in again. Again, if you're not subscribed up to Phill, please drop him a subscription. As you can see, the guy is an absolute wealth of knowledge and one of the most beautiful men you'll ever meet in your life.
And you get 10% off orders over 30 quid.
At www.mkexotics.co.uk.
I'm pretty sure that works also as like an affiliate link, affiliate sort of code as well. So I think I'll get a little bit of commission on the back of that as well, I believe.
That's awesome. So you save money and you can support Phill at the same time.
Yep, and literally, you save a bit of money in the process, so it costs you less.
Amy said, "Isn't it that their substrates are all plant ready
Yep,
or something?"
absolutely,
I think that's what they.
yeah. They're,
Oh, awesome.
they're plant people, so they're great for all good for planting your plant straight in, and then also being animal people, they literally look at all the sides. And then I saw the other day he was at Gardener's World Live thing at I think at the NEC.
Don't even get me started.
Has got now a whole range of various houseplant sort of composts, so specialist houseplant ones.
Fingers crossed we'll see it in garden centres soon enough.
But I think you never know, because was it Grow Tropical? I think that because they do a lot of for like terrarium, just your planted terrariums and stuff, and I see that in my local garden centre nowadays. But yeah, MK's I think a lot cheaper, and I know what his quality is like. So
it's a shame we can't link up with the bearded plant guy.
The bearded fat guy.
Yeah. What's his name? The bearded plantaholic, I think he is. On TikTok.
Oh, him.
Yeah, I fucking love him. I do.
He's hilarious. He's hilarious.
My God, the amount of plants my parents bought back, says Amy H. Something me and Charlie were talking about the other day was plants, and because we've got the bigger house now, we can actually get some and grow some on, and have a little spot where we can put a light up and all the rest of it. So, yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, it's literally when it comes to plants. My dad, he's a guy. He's a horticulturist. He's done horticulture all his life, but I'm not. I don't consider myself great at growing plants, but it's all a case of experimenting and seeing what works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need to redo things every now and then, but for me, that's all part of the fun of it. I mean, whereas I will use fake foliage and some of them, but that's just static. It's just there, and it never changes, sort of thing. Whereas with the plants, thing I learned most with doing like live planted, get the substrate right for the plants, and then also get your lighting right, get your LED lights, because it's one of the and look at plant people, what plant YouTubers are saying and TikTokers are saying, about certain things, and again the lighting all comes back down to lighting. Your room to you may be bright, but that can be pretty much zero lux, which is darkness outside kind of thing. And so like when you hear of like some that I learned plants that they say are shade tolerant or low level lighting, but if you've got that at the other potentially the other side of a room from a window, that's getting low light.
You see, that's what I would do. I would put it the other side of the window in a shaded area, thinking, yeah, brilliant.
But actually, there's basically no lux there, so it's getting no light. That still wants to be like right near a window to actually get anywhere near enough light, sort of thing. So, like, even your pothos, it still needs some form of light. So that's where your LEDs come in handy.
Is there any LEDs that you'd recommend?
The serious plant growth jungle dawns, they're expensive, but my God, they're worth it. I've been experimenting with some cheap, cheaper LEDs and stuff. They just don't do the job, I find. So I'd rather pay a little bit more and get, I'll probably be going over more to the Luminize, which is a little bit more than just the regular jungle dawns. And stuff, but I mean, I've got one lot of LED serves on the shelves just opposite me. I think they were 30 quid, and they've done 2 shells, and they I think they've lasted about a year. And
I've got 2, and the thing I really like about them is the fact that you have one plug. You can put one that's one place. You get a link cable, so you can join the other one too.
Yep. Yeah, you can link like 6. I think it's either 6 or up to 10 bars, into one. That's then just on one plug.
I think that's
Fantastic.
brilliant.
And that's the same for the Luminize range as well. You have to buy the link cable separately for the Luminize range. So, but you can do the same. Yeah, you can link those up as well.
Yeah, I think the Arcadia, I think you get the link cable with the light, don't you?
With the regular Jungle Dawns, you do.
Yeah.
And so the reason that I listened to a podcast because both are Arcadia, and it said the reason that they with the Luminize range they don't include the link cable is one they said they found that with the regular ones most of them just get chucked in the bin and and people tend not to use them, so that's just waste sort of thing. So they're thinking of cutting that out and just doing that separately. So like if you want the link cable, you're actually going to use it in.
Yeah.
But also with the Luminize, I think you can link the LED to the UV, but you need to have a separate. So there's like 3 different link cables. So you can do UV to UV, LED to LED, or LED to UV, sort of thing. So it's like you couldn't just include, a link cable when there's 3 different types.
What do you think to the grow LEDs, as in the strip lights? Do you know the ones that come on the roll and you can just?
Yeah, I haven't had much success with them myself. I've used them, and I've got some LED. I find some of them just aren't that bright at all, so they're really dull. So yeah, obviously on this show, see that to me that's really dull. That light seems brighter on the camera than it is in real life.
Yeah,
but you might also see there's some that aren't on that they'll be coming off because they're ones that were brighter, but they've lasted about a year, and then they're just not coming on anymore. And you saw like, yeah, that they were 30 quid, and yeah, a jungle dawn to do that sort of size might be like 60 quid, so double the price, and Illuminize might be 80 quid or so something. But my jungle dawn over there on the Spinnaker tank, that's lasted years. So sometimes it's better to spend a little bit more in the short term. It might save money more in the long term because if it lasts longer. But it's a case of experimenting. I still experiment with cheaper lights. I've got a couple that I'm going to be experimenting with to do a live planted display enclosure for my ember bees.
Oh, nice.
So I've got a little it's a little desk lamp that will literally the tank will sit on it the whole time, and it'll just a little ring light just be basically on top to light it up, and they're just USB powered, and I'll see how that goes. Sort of thing, but it's all a case of there's a lot of trial and error involved and seeing what you get success from, what you don't get success from, but I do find Jungle Dawns really, really push out the plant growth.
Like I said, I've got 2 of the Jungle Dawns. I'm just thinking, especially with the shed, putting the lighting in there. We'll have to say.
Yeah. So after getting the Luminize, look at the Luminize range because it's a little bit more expensive, but you can literally control everything. Let me get the app up. So I don't know if it'll actually find the light in here, but that's the app, the Arcadia app for it. I'm too far away from a light probably, but on there would normally come up saying Crab's bedroom for their light. I can click on that and see, and I can set the brightness per hour of the day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sort of thing. So no need for an external timer or anything because it's all done via Bluetooth. Kind of thing, and you can control various different ones through it. You can even, if you want to, just have a space. I haven't used it, but a space for animal records, so you can put your records down of your animals on it as well.
That's cool.
Because I've used,
Amy said she'd love to do a planted enclosure, but she don't know how she keep plants alive in an arid environment. There is plant species out there that will thrive in an arid environment.
Yeah, get an arid base sort of substrate. So I haven't used it myself, but I know MK do a few different arid mixes. So I would assume any of those would work. Arcadia Earth Mix Arid would work as well. So you want an arid soil mix. And then again, if you speak to the likes of MK, so I advise on that, but things like aloes or thornias and stuff, things that all your succulents basically. And you can do, you can even get arid springtails and stuff. They can, they're a bit more expensive than regular springtails, but you can get specialist arid springtails to put in arid environments if you want to go down that route, and more arid isopods. Especially some of the like Porcelios, they like it quite arid.
I like the idea of the arid springtails. I didn't know you could get those.
Yeah, arid springtails.
Has MK got those in the product?
When it comes to like arid and doing, putting in like cleanup crew, in like springtails, in arid areas, there's still pockets of humidity. Sort of thing. There's still little pockets of humidity underneath, foliage and stuff. They can actually be quite high humidity right in the desert sometimes.
Or night time.
Yeah. Sort of thing. So yeah, okay, it's all a case of give it a go, have an experiment and stuff. I'll put go down, even go down to Gaza and get buy some £2 succulents and stuff and stick them in and see what happens. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah, drop MK. I think I'd just drop MK an email and say, what can we do? What if I've got this species and I've got to keep it at this humidity and this temperature? What plants could I then add that would also thrive with this humidity and this temperature?
There's well, tell you what, who's? Let me think. Who's?
Well, Leo likes to shit in awkward to get to areas, so if we could get a clean-up crew in there, that would be amazing.
There is. I'll see if I can find the channel. There is a channel I think he just keeps leopard geckos, and his enclosure is amazing. It's fully planted up.
Oh.
So it's based on one particular area that leopard geckos are found in the wild and stuff, in one of the mountainous areas and stuff. And he he records everything about it. If I can find him, just because it might give you, that'd be a good one to get like some, a little bit of inspiration from. Other thing, because there's some people out there that just do amazing things. I mean, I
was going to just put the Middlehall Halloween Invert show group into the chat. Go drop that one a join, because that is Phil's group and that is all about the Halloween show that's coming up towards the end of the year. Even if you can't make it this year, you at least should be part of that group, and then you can always look at attending next year. I attended last year and it was absolutely brilliant. I absolutely loved it. Definitely one of my more favourite shows of the year. As you lot know, I try and attend as many as I can. And over the years, I've probably attended the majority of them, apart from the Scottish one. But Middlehall is absolutely on point. I love it.
It was good fun. It was stressful on the day, very stressful on the day, and then afterwards, it was like a sigh of relief. Like, okay, it was better than what we thought it was going to be. Another thing.
Hey, Jezza.
And then this year it's bigger. So we got the same venue, but we've got more tables in it this year. And stuff, which
and Spark
I believe are fully booked now. I'm waiting for the confirmation from my mum so I can then sort of release the trader list and maybe a promo video
Cool, that'd be cool.
kind of thing.
That would be cool. Again, me and Matt, Tarantula Rookie, we've got a table at Phil's show. We are looking for donations for that table because every penny that we make is going to go to the charity that Phill and his parents are supporting for this year.
I've just found, but if it loads up, it's cool because it's mainly on Instagram and it's called like Mr. Jinx. It's all like if I can get it up. Doesn't know it's coming up anymore now. I'll see if I can find it later and perhaps I can send that to
Cheers,
you later on.
appreciate that.
Oh, that'd be awesome, Chris. Yeah. There'll be a raffle for the charity, which should be the National Centre for Reptile Welfare to go to their rehoming centre.
When's the next tournament in Inverts show? I wouldn't know without looking.
Normally in February, that one.
The beetle mimics have become adults.
Nice one there.
Nice. My leaf mimics have as well. They're
But yeah, a few traders I definitely know are coming to our show are Elite Exotics. They're coming back. They booked up straight away, kind of thing. Pretty much everyone that was there last year is back, apart from Suffolk Spiders, but that's because they're ceased trading. Otherwise, everyone that was there last year is coming back. Post pods, they're booked up.
Dan.
So he's going to be there. So,
that's where we got our rubber duckies off Dan, our cannonballs, oh my god, majority of the collection.
I've got the cannonballs, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, Just Ranchers will be there. Our sponsors, Spar Spiders, they're sponsoring the show.
Luke and Daddy Spar, probably Baby Spar as well then.
Yep. Yeah, it should be all three of them there. Which that was a really real nice touch that we didn't expect at all. That was Mark's idea, Daddy Spar's idea to sponsor the show, sort of thing. And then my parents weren't sure what to do when I told them about it, and I was like, but they just want to sponsor it, kind of thing. You'd be silly to say no, kind of thing.
It's because Mark and Luke, they're like just very supportive people of the whole community.
Yeah. Very supportive, incredibly supportive, kind of thing. And yeah, they want to see the show go from strength to strength, which is really nice. And it's nice that they have that sort of faith in my parents and me. Well, they'll be like,
Well, again though, it's Luke is, as a seller, Luke's very much one of us. And I think as a show organizer, yourself and your parents are very much one of us. And it's great to see that somebody like us can literally just go and create a show and get it going. Which, last year it was a beautiful, beautiful show. You've got time to chat to people, so many varied inverts there as well, so many different people coming and going. It was such a lovely day. Really is a lovely day.
A lot of the people that came in had never been to a show before. And there was lots of little families.
Yeah.
And people getting their very first ever spider or stick insect or cockroach or whatever, the very first ones and stuff. And that was something that actually Just Ranchers said that they really loved about it was that they could actually properly speak to the people looking at the stuff and advise them properly about their very first tarantula and sort of thing. And they said they just don't get to do that at other shows, sort of thing, which is really nice. So we'll have Customer Quarry are going to be there. So best glass tanks you can get, sort of thing. Which actually be interesting to see because at the IHS show, he had a bit of a first. Someone who bought 2 tanks of him was taking them back to Texas.
Oh wow!
And it was literally bought him, went, well, how's best to wrap this up to travel? And Matthew was like, well, how far you got to go? I could I can put some wrapping around it. She's like, well, we're taking it back to Texas. And he went, oh, that's a bit further than I was thinking. So, and she was like, we don't get any tanks like this in Texas. So in the States, he's amazing. And I was like,
it might have been better if he did like maybe flat packs, and then they could assemble them over there or something.
The thing is, it's all glass and siliconed in and stuff, and it's all made to me. So yeah, she bought a little tank off him, and then bought a coffin tank. Amy pointed out that one of the last coffin was like, have you seen the coffins? And she was like, oh my god.
Amy H says, where is that show again?
Suffolk, Milnor in Suffolk, near Newmarket.
Oh, Claire's down in South Devon, so she's miles away. It's all right. Get a hotel. Have a weekend of it. Maybe come up on the Friday, go to the show on the Saturday, and then go to Phil's Zoo on the Sunday.
So,
that sounds like an epic weekend.
I think, though there's some thanks because obviously, well, I won't be here on that Sunday. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
We normally there's a few of us. Last year a bunch of us went to Ely Exotics on the Sunday, the day after, and spent more money.
Oh God!
So there's been some mentions about like perhaps doing a visit up to the Bug Park because that's not too far away. It's only about an hour from Millwall. Yeah, maybe actually 40 minutes possibly.
No, that's not bad.
So there's been some mentions about like whether to do like a bit of a trip up there, sort of thing afterwards, and perhaps a bit of a group trip the day afterwards. Because I was thinking like last year a few of the traders came back to my parents' house and for chill out afterwards, and some say like feel like Jez stayed over and stuff.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna have to ask Jez twice.
Sort of thing. A few people, sort of stayed over, and then we, all went out for a day. The next day, the day afterwards.
What's that one? Phil's got Facebook, YouTube channel, Middenhall Invert Show group. Also got the Instagram as well as. So it says Osman. Nice one, Osman. Unfortunately, give a couple more minutes. I'm going to have to close the stream. I've been up since 6 and I ain't had my dinner yet. Yeah. So I've been trying to munch little bits, but I've got to put it in the microwave and warm it up. Amy H says BTS, Bristol and Coventry are the furthest shows I'd go, as London is a bit hectic for me. But yeah, Middenhall is a bit far. Sorry, maybe next year. I highly recommend that you anybody, if you can come along. It is such a lovely day out. It really, really is. It's not like Phil was saying. You've got a little bit more time to wander around, chat to people. If you've got kind of anxieties of those packed in bigger invert shows, they will soon disappear as soon as you walk into Middenhall. It is really, really. It feels like a real community event, as opposed to a massive shopping area. If that makes sense.
But that's what it was like. It was like a village hall sort of tabletop sale type sort of feel to it. So,
Chris says, really looking forward to it. Already booked it off. Claire, I'm checking it out, guys. Going up for a shower. Has got to be up early. Got work tomorrow. Have a great night. Yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to close the stream in a couple of minutes. I've been up since 6 o'clock. I didn't go to bed till 2. And I haven't had dinner yet either, so I'm absolutely starving. Susan, typical, just finished Spiders, and now you're going. It should have come earlier. What you should have done is put the live on in the background while you were feeding the spiders. A lot of people kind of watch the show on a Tuesday, and feed the spiders in the background. Again, if you're not subscribed up to Phill, Incredible Inverts and other animals, please go and do so. But I would have thought if you subscribe to me, you're already subscribed to Phill. Amy says, good night, everyone. Great stream.
Help me try and get to
3,000 by the end of the year. Leah said it's more like a family, definitely. But Ozma's just put some ribs under the grill.
Oh, ribs, nice.
I've got a roast, and I've been like sneakily trying to eat a little bit of it throughout the stream, and I'm really, really hungry. So if you've got anything else that you want to promote quickly, Phill? Or?
There's that. Yeah. Check out my various channels on various things. I'm trying to get to 3K by the end of the year if I can. That'd be nice.
What we'll give Phill a quick mention for as well is Phil's actual stand that he puts on at the shows. We seem to go inverts and then just go spiders. It's all about spiders. Phil's got a variation of all the types of different inverts. So I highly suggest that you go over and take a look and see if maybe some other inverts there could spark a passion, maybe for other stuff other than spiders.
Yeah, various cockroaches, especially emeralds, one of my biggest breeders. And various other things. Hopefully, once I've got enough vampire crabs breeding, I can hopefully start, potentially putting captive bred vampire crabs on, which at the moment, all the vampire crabs available at shows are always wild caught. So try and get everyone's in.
Rebecca said, if you've got a list of what you've got available for sale, could you kindly send it to us?
I'll see if I still got it saved somewhere, because I'll probably need to add to it a little bit and change a couple of bits on it, sort of thing. And then also watch the space, because there's things happening in the background that I can't announce yet.
Oh. You get me excited.
It's scary and exciting at the same time. But there's things in the pipeline.
Awesome. You got me intrigued now, because I'm thinking, what on earth have you actually got in that background?
Hopefully a couple of things in the pipeline, but one's a definite thing that's happening.
I was going to say, that's it. End with the cliffhanger. Can't sleep now.
That's it.
Right, thank you so much again, Phill, for popping on. It has been awesome catch up. Absolutely awesome catch up.
Pleasure. Anytime.
Love you to bits, dude. Especially the middle hole coming up. The channel's getting bigger and bigger. I think 2024 is looking real positive for the second half for you, dude. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'll gonna keep doing it, and I'll get there when I get there, and also looking at perhaps what might be in 5 years' time or whatever kind of thing, and looking further ahead of whether to take just doing inverts and shows and all that lot a bit more full time or not. I think see what pays off more.
Oh, fingers crossed there. Fingers crossed.
Thing. So all depends on finances and time.
I think whichever direction you go with animals full stop is going to be successful.
Sort of thing. So we'll see what happens.
Right, guys. Thank you to everybody that's popped along this evening, came in and gone out, and all the rest of it. Really do appreciate everybody's support, especially just bearing with me as well while we're getting everything sorted out in the background and all the rest of it. And not one of you has said anything about me doing the live from the kitchen, so I appreciate that as well. But Phill, again, thank you so much for agreeing to come on. Really, really appreciate it, dude.
Oh, cheers.
All right. With that said, we shall say good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.